What's up guys, Anubhav here. Welcome back to a brand new video here on the channel. Now a lot of you guys were asking for a game related video and I realized that I haven't done in a very long time, almost more than a year I think. So with that being said, here I have 10 very high-end games right now in late 2019, early 2020. If you guys like any of the titles, be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, let me know your favorite one in the comments below. With that being said, let's get started.
Surprised you never had the guts to figure out how I feel about you.
Alright guys, so the first title on the list is called F1 Mobile Racing, and this is a Formula 1 racing game if it wasn't obvious from the name. But if you're an F1 fan like I am, chances are you'll absolutely love this one. The game does no big reveals or trailers, it just directly drops you into the racetrack once you install it. And obviously the main point of playing this game are not the controls, are not the cars, but is the graphics that it puts out on a mobile screen. I was pleasantly surprised when I saw the graphics that it was outputting on the Samsung Galaxy S10, which is the phone that I used to play. And well, I can surely say that this is one of those games that you really have to try. No amount of review can really justify it, because the amount of rush and the amount of suspense that you're in and the haptic feedback with the controls that goes along with every game is really cool, and it's something you need to try it out for yourself. So definitely check it out. The link will be in the description below. Alright guys, so the second game on the list is called Shadowgun Legends, and I don't know if you guys played it back in its Nvidia Tegra 3 days when it was all the rage on the first Nexus 7, but this is a game that has been upgraded with time and basically it lives up the test of time as well. Now it's changed, there's no really single player campaign, it's got a co-op and a multiplayer, but you get some RPG elements such as customizing your own character and having a lobby type of area where you can accept different missions, upgrade your equipment and all of that. If you played Monster Hunter World, I think you guys know what I mean. But as far as the actual gameplay is concerned and the FPS elements in it are concerned, they look really good along with some really good graphical capabilities. The dynamic shadow processing is something that looks really good if you have an AMOLED display. And all in all, it's just a really fun game that I think all of you guys should try out. So definitely check it out, link in the description below. Alright guys, next up we've got Gangster New Orleans from the guys over at Gameloft, and if you're looking for a cartoony open world sandbox where you can basically do a lot of things and have fun doing it, because GTA 5 is not out for your phones yet, this is something you should definitely try out. Now this came out fairly recently and the graphics in it look really cool from the parts that I have played. You can obviously shoot people, drive cars. It's essentially your generic Grand Theft Auto simulator on a mobile device. It does a good job at doing so, and that is definitely not a bad thing. The controls in the car could have been improved a bit, but I think that it's more than enough for something that's running on your phone. It's also not very heavy in size when it comes to high-end games in general, so you should definitely download it, and it's also free, so there's not really much you can ask for. They're already giving you the entire deal. Definitely check it out, link in the description below. Alright guys, next up we've got World War II Heroes, and if you're really bored of the entire PUBG versus Call of Duty versus Fortnite battle and you just want to try out something fresh, something nice that looks good and functions well, how it's performed to, then this is the game for you. Now again, this has no single player campaign, it's a multiplayer online battle royale / deathmatch sort of a feature, but the controls and the entire World War II era along with weapons that were actually used in the war and the actual very different feel that it gives compared to modern day battle royale games is really cool. And I also really like the collection of the guns and how easy the game is for beginners to get into. You literally have no learning curve, and it's very easy to get started right away. It's also free, check it out, link below. Alright guys, next up we've got Into the Dead, and shake your hand and like this video if you have played this game earlier, but I have gone not playing it for a really long time, because I had and I came back to this game and it functions like a completely different game altogether with the revamped UI and the beautiful graphics that I think have been improved, but even then back in the days this was still a pretty good looking game. Now as far as the graphics are concerned, well, they are top notch, and this is basically a first person runner game where you have guns and different ammo and different abilities, but your main point is to run away from as many zombies in a post-apocalyptic world as you can. And this game does a really good job of keeping you on your tips when it comes to the horror of your face being torn away by a zombie casually walking on a field. It's really cool, it's free, it's back, and it's back for good. Definitely check it out, link in the description below. Alright guys, so next up we've got something called Breakneck, and basically this game lets you travel or maneuver a spaceship at breakneck speeds. The entire point of the game is for you to cover as much distance as you can without wrecking your spaceship and being blown into smithereens. It's a really good concept, and the game does look very easy at its surface, but once you play into it and transverse at least 10,000 meters, you understand the little things that you have to do to keep progressing and not dying and losing your high score. It's a really fun game, and I think the way that it performs, as well as the customization options that you have to customize your kit and basically your spaceships, are really cool. So yeah, check it out. Alright guys, next up we have Call of Duty Mobile, and Call of Duty Mobile has been, a very controversial game, I would say, at least for this year, because a lot of people have been fighting and comparing it with the likes of games such as PUBG and Fortnite. But here's the thing, if you have played Call of Duty Modern Warfare on the computer, or you're just a Call of Duty fan coming not from the mobile platforms, of course, this game will hit you right home, right from the deathmatch to the frontline to the different modes that all seasoned Call of Duty players, are acclaimed to the different types of weapons and gadgets that you can use, from all the way from UAVs to drones to helicopters to missiles and everything that there is in the Call of Duty universe on a mobile form factor. Well, I couldn't really ask for anything else. It's a really fun game. It's a really cool game. It's super free. The graphics are top notch. Everything looks great. The gunplay and the gun control are very good, and the ragdolls are also incredible to look at. So definitely check it out. Link will be in the description below. Whether Rockstar releases a new Bully title or not, you cannot take away from the fact that Bully Scholarship Edition was one of the best games of its era. It brought into this really cool high school life along with an open world interpretation, and I have played this game before, not on the phone, and completed it several times, but playing it again here on a mobile device wasn't really a big of a problem at all, because the game is just so well, revamped and turned up and optimized for a mobile device and touch controls that you feel like you're playing the same game just on a smaller form factor. Well, if you guys are not acclaimed with Bully is essentially an open world game from the guys over at Rockstar. It was launched back in the day, and basically it gives you the role of a guy inside a school, and all you have to do is progress through missions in typical Grand Theft Auto fashion, but it talks about politics inside schools, and it's really satirical, and it's super funny, and the controls are also really cool, and plus you can beat up anyone you want to, and it's better to do that in games than in real life, isn't it? Definitely check it out, link in the description below. Alright guys, next up we've got a game called Darkness Rises, and I think this comes very close to being the God of War for mobile devices as far as the graphics and the gameplay is concerned. It's a typical fashion RPG where you basically control a guy that looks an awful lot like Kratos from the God of War universe, but I'm not really complaining, because the game does a really good job of doing what it's supposed to do. The combat is amazing, the graphics look great, you end up progressing in typical RPG fashion and fight off huge bosses and unlock different magic skills. The game looks great, it performs great, and it's also free, and the story is sort of interesting if you don't really look a lot towards the dialogue, because it's sort of very poorly written. But anyway, the game is a very fun game to play, and it does what it says, and it does it in a good way without lagging or crashing a lot. So definitely check it out, it will be in the description below. Last but definitely not the least, we've got Life is Strange, and I think this was an example of a video where I saved the best for last, because if you know about the Life is Strange universe, chances are you already know about this game and have already finished it. If you don't, well, there are some games that focus on action and adventure and arcade, and there are some games that focus on narratives or stories, which basically progress like a movie, like a game movie or something of that sort. Life is Strange is one of them. It's got a beautiful soundtrack and incredible storyline, and I played it back on the PlayStation Portable. Playing it again with HD textures revamped on a phone screen is very nostalgic, as well as very cool to see how technology has progressed over the years. Now, this is a game that you haven't played, you should play, because it's one of those games that everyone should at least play once in their lifetime. Whether it's the storyline or the controls or the graphics or the actual characters and the attachment that you gain with them throughout time, this is a game that I have learned to love from a long time, and I think you guys will really enjoy it. So definitely check it out, it will be in the description below. And well guys, that is pretty much it for today's video. If you guys did like it, don't forget to drop a like, comment below which was your favorite game from the list, or if there's any other game that you would add for the others watching this video. Until then, this is Anubhav signing out. I'll catch you guys soon with another video. Until then, you guys have a great day. Peace out.
This is the heart.